This is Friday Night Football on KLST, brought to you by Randall Motors.
And good evening and welcome to Friday Night Football. I'm Ryan Campo. We'll hear from Sabrina Hoover a little later on in the show. Week 10 of the Texas high school football season upon us. It's do or die for teams across the Concho Valley. We even have 3 district title games happening tonight. But first, District 2 6A, we find ourselves with a 4-way tie for first place with Mojo, Friendship, Legacy, and the Bobcats, who look to get back in the win column this evening. Central's final home regular season game this evening, taking on Odessa Permian. Central would strike first in this one. It's Tyler Hill to Jacob English, and he'll do the rest. He'll take that all the way to the house. That's the first score of the game. Central on top, 7-0 after that. Permian, though, would bounce back for the short gain, however, but misses the extra point, so Central still leads this 7-6. A Chase Miller field goal to put some points on for Central. That'll make it 10-6 at the second quarter mark. Right before half, Hill looking downfield. English open again for another Central touchdown. That'll make it 31-28. Central, though, goes on to fall tonight, 43-31 the final. To the other games across District 2 6A, Odessa High hosting Friendship this evening. The Tigers make it 4 in a row against the Broncos, 49-42. Legacy taking on rival Midland High tonight. Legacy makes it 6 straight against their rival, 48-3. So as we look at the standings, the 4-team tie for first now turns to 3. Legacy, Permian, and Friendship all at 3-1. Central at 2-2. Midland High and at 1-3, and then Odessa High at 0-4. To District 2 3A Division 2, our first of 3 district title games happening this evening. The winner clinching at least a share of the district title with 1 week remaining for both Wall and Early. 10th ranked Wall hosting Early tonight, a battle of 3-0 teams, all about the defense here early on. First quarter, Wall's Brylan White able to get the Longhorn quarterback in the backfield for a sack. Early's defense, though, just as tough as this one. Nathan Pepper with a handoff met by a pack of Longhorn defenders for no gain. We remain scoreless in this one. More from the Early defense. Gunnar Dillard's pass into the hands of the wrong team. That's Dalton Adams there for the interception. We stay deadlocked at 0. A second left in the first quarter. Nathan Pepper gets to the outside. A little Peppa plows his way into the end zone. Wall leads it 7-0. 7-7 now just before halftime. Pierce Jamison into the wind, fighting the rain, able to knock the field goal through. That's your game winner. Wall clinches a share of the district title tonight with the victory, 10-7. Brady looking to hang around the top of the district, taking on the Eagles tonight of Grape Creek early in the first. Israel Morales so fast, couldn't even catch him. But he puts on the Jets for the early score to give the Bulldogs their lead of 7. After a long drive here for the Eagles, they punch it in. Quarterback Josh Morgan reads it, keeps it, runs to the sideline just to mark short, but reaches across the goal line. That'll make it 7-6 Brady. Another Eagles possession. Josh drops back to pass, heaves it one-on-one coverage, picked off by Keegan Ferris, who fights for the extra yards. Brady, though, big win tonight. They hold on, 22-19. TLCA hosting Ballinger, and Eagles win. They can clinch a playoff spot for the first time since 2013. 6-0 Eagles already. Nathan Rivera McDuffie runs it in for the Bearcats score. That'll tie this up at 6 apiece. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Rivera McDuffie takes the handoff. He gets to the outside, makes a couple man miss. Look at that man go. He's off to the races. A long touchdown gives Ballinger a 12-6 lead. The Eagles respond, though. Lane Honey steps back. He'll hit Kelby Thomas, who makes the catch over the defender. That'll tie things up at 12 apiece. It was all TLCA in the second half. TLCA, the Eagles celebrate all night long. TLCA headed to the playoffs, 34-27 the final. A look at the standings after week 10 of play. Wall clinching at least a share of the District 2 3A Division 2 title with their win over Early. Brady in a tie for second, and then TLCA rounding out the teams to make the playoffs. In this one, Brady eliminated tonight. Coming up on Friday Night Football, our 11-man highlights continue. A big one in District 3 2A Division 1. Cristobal hosting Sonora. Plus, the drive for 11 straight district titles continues tonight for the Mason Punchers. Our second district title game coming up after the break.
You're watching Friday Night Football on KLST. Let's go,
Welcome back to Friday Night Football. A 3-way tie going into the night for second place in District 3 2A Division 1. Sonora, Reagan County, and Cristobal. The Cougars and Bobcats meeting this evening. Who will go to 3-1 in district play, Cristobal or Sonora? Pretty good game here defensive-wise. Kyle Lohman muffs the snap, tries to escape the pocket, but it's suddenly brought down by Gage Owens for the Broncos, forcing Cristobal to punt. Sonora's turn up next. They decide to go for it on 4th down. Jaime Butron keeps it, met by Ethan Bush and Manuel Rojas for a turnover on downs. Next possession, though, for the Cougs, it's Lohman once again. He can't handle the snap, picks it up, tries to run it, but is met in the end zone. That'll be a safety. Sonora gets on the board here. Hunter O'Bannon takes the handoff. He gets to chopping. He would find himself in the end zone for the Broncos score. Sonora gets a big win tonight, 30-6, the final. The other two games happening tonight over in District 3 2A Division 1. Ozona traveling to KSAN this evening, but it's the Buffs who remain perfect, clinching at least a share of the district title, 47-14, and Reagan County meeting Anthony All Owls in that one, 34-6. All right, so here's how things shake up in that 3 2A Division 1 after this evening's games. KSAN the final unbeaten, but Sonora can clinch a share of the title when these two teams play next week. Reagan County owns the tiebreaker against the Broncos, which is why they are above them. And then it's Cristobal, who is traveling to Big Lake next week to take on the Owls. A lot can happen in this district next week. Our second of 3 district title games happening this evening takes us to the Puncher Dome. Mason looking to capture at least a share of capturing its 11th straight district title, just 2 more wins. Mason hosting Stockdale winner, clinching a share of the District 14 2A title. First quarter, Mason strikes first. You hand the ball to Ryan Todd, good things happen. Makes a couple nifty moves. He's off to the races and into the end zone. Mason punches first. Get it? Ha. 7-0 MPHS. Stockdale, though, responds. Quarterback Camden Dario Kate takes it himself. He's in for the touchdown. However, Mason still leads 7-6 after the missed PAT. Mason gets the lead right back. Guess who? Ryan Todd, once again, the pitch on the outside goes in untouched. Mason clinching a share of the district title tonight in big fashion, 49-19. The other game happening in this district tonight, a pair of Eagles with 1 win in district play, looking to both come up with a big win when it comes to seeding. Junction looking to end the season with a win, but it's Johnson City who takes this one tonight, 56-14. All right, so Mason clinching at least a share of the district title will look to win it by themselves next week when they travel to Harper, Stockdale, and Johnson City, tied for second, but with 1 week to play. Junction finishing at 1-3 and owns the tiebreaker over Harper. It's looking like Mason, Stockdale, Johnson City, and Junction to make the playoffs out of this district. To the largest district here in the Concho Valley, District 5 2A Division 2, 2 area teams looking to keep their playoff hopes alive this evening. Sterling City welcoming 4th-ranked Wink Wildcats to town this evening. Wink spoils the Eagles' final home regular season game tonight, and a big one over in McCamey. El Dorado and the Badgers sitting at 3-1 in the district. This game to take over sole possession. It's McCamey who gets the win, 35-12. The final game, Water Valley and TLC at Midland, not taking place tonight due to a forfeit on the Eagles' path, so Water Valley gets their first win of the district to end the season, 3-7 overall, 1-5 in district play. The Cats are idle next week. All right, so the Wink Wildcats, the winners of this district next week, they earn a forfeit victory against TLC Midland, so they will be a perfect 6-0 in district play. El Dorado now moves to a tie for 3rd. McCamey gets to 2nd with their win. Badgers and Eagles tied for that, but Sterling City drops to 3rd. El Dorado and Sterling City will play next week, and then it's Ira Ann who rounds things out in 4th. Our final 11-man district, District 6 2A Division 2, where we find the Miles Bulldogs, winners of 2 straight, looking to keep their playoff hopes alive tonight. 2-1 Miles hosting 2-1 Roscoe. A Miles win, a good chance of clinching that 2 seed. First offensive snap for Roscoe. They drop back, and it's Dylan Garza who undercuts the throw for the Bulldog interception to start the game. A few plays later, Haven Book drops back, finds Manuel Torres alone in the back of the end zone for the Miles. Touchdown, 7-0 MHS. Still early in the first. This time it's Book doing it himself, fakes the handoff, outruns the Roscoe defenders, 14-0 Miles. The Bulldogs would go on to win this one. What a statement by Miles tonight, 77-26. The other 2 games going on this evening, 7th-ranked Albany traveling to Hamlin. This one all Lions tonight, 55-6. And Cross Plains, a must-win for the Buffs. They do so, 61-0. All right, so Albany clinching at least a district title share with the win tonight. They can win it all next week when they host TLC Abilene. Miles moves to 2nd at 3-1. Roscoe, Cross Plains tied for 3rd, and play one another next week. So the winner gets the 3 seed, loser gets the 4th. Hamlin officially eliminated thanks to their loss tonight to Albany. Coming up on Friday Night Football, we head down to the six-man ranks. District 13 1A Division II and District 14 1A Division II have Concho Valley teams with must-win games this evening. Plus, our KLST game of the week, our third and final district title of the game we have tonight, 8th-ranked Erie County hosting Menard. That and more after the break. Welcome back to Friday Night Football. Our third and final district title game happening this evening, happening in the six-man ranks. 8th-ranked Erie County and unbeaten Hornets taking on Menard, who's in the six-man ranks for the first time this season. 8th-ranked Erie County hosting Menard tonight. We'll start things off in the first quarter. Erie County up 8-0. Menard's chance to get something going. Isaiah Stanislawski's pass thrown right into the hands of Bo Morrow for an Erie County interception. That's a pick six. He's gone to the house. A few plays later, Trevin Kofeld drops back, sees a hole, jukes a defender out, and there is no one, and I mean no one touching him. He jogs into the end zone. Erie County on the board again. Watch this play. Kofeld decides to keep it himself, breaks a couple tackles, running past a couple more defenders. He's into the end zone for another Erie County touchdown. That'll make it a final tonight. Erie County wins its first district title for the first time since 2004, 56-8 the final. That's where we find our Sabrina Hoover at the field for more.
Yeah, hey, Ryan. The number 8 Erie County Hornets are district champs tonight with their win over Menard, winning 56-8. And the Hornets did tonight what they have done mostly all season, and that's offensively dominate. This game started out with a Bo Morrow touchdown to put them on the board first, and then it was Bo Morrow once again to put them up 14-0 in the first quarter. And not only did the Hornet offense play outstanding, but so did the Hornet defense. When talking to head coach Don Kofeld earlier this week, he told me that the defense was something they wanted to improve upon each week. And tonight, they held the Menard Yellow Jackets to only a touchdown. With this win, the Hornets are now district champs for the first time since 2004. So it's a big night tonight in Mertzen. Reporting from OK Wolfenberger Field, I'm Sabrina Hoover. I'll send things back to you, Ryan.
This live shot brought to you by Advanced Custom Windows.
All right, thanks for that, Sabrina. The only other game happening tonight in District 13 1A Division I, Eden hosting Robert Lee. It's the Steers who end the season on a high note, defeating Eden tonight. How about the job first-year head coach Lee McCone did over at Robert Lee? An 8-2 season, a lot to be proud of for the Steers. Eden finishes up their season on the road next week at Menard. All right, let's head on down to District 13 1A Division II. This district getting play underway last week, so must wins for our teams in the Concho Valley. We'll get started over in Trent, Texas. The Gorillas in a must-win scenario taking on 7th-ranked Lorain, but this one all Bulldogs tonight. In the other game, two teams from the Concho Valley meeting for the first time since 1933 that are separated by 15 minutes. If you can believe that. Bront picked up a big win last week against Trent. Blackwell fell to Lorain. It's Blackwell who gets the big win tonight, 66-20. All right, so with just a week left, Lorain has clinched at least a share of the district crown, can win the whole thing if they take down Bront next week on the road. Then Blackwell hosting Trent next week. Both Bront and Blackwell in must wins for next week if they would like to make the playoffs. All right, the final six-man district, District 14 1A Division II, we find our final Concho Valley team, the Paint Rock Indians, looking to snap a 7-year skid, not making the playoffs. Paint Rock looking to bounce back from their loss last week to Rising Star, picking up a win this evening against Moran, moving to 1-1 in district play with a 72-22 win. And the other game in district play, Panther Creek, Rising Star, happening tomorrow night over in Rising Star. All right, so remember, Rising Star, Panther Creek still have to play tomorrow. So there's one game that will go a long way in this district as how things shake out. Paint Rock means they have to win next week against Panther Creek at home, and they are in the playoffs for the first time in 7 years. All right, coming up on Friday Night Football, we'll put a bow on Week 10 with our headlines from this evening's games, plus take a look at some Week 11 games with the most on the line. That and more after the break. All right, before we go, look at our headlines from Week 10 this evening. Wall and Mason clinching shares of their respective district titles tonight with wins. Congrats to TLCA. head coach Matt Jones and company for the second time in program history and first time since 2013. The Eagles will be playoff bound. Miles hangs 77 on Roscoe tonight to lock down the 2 seed. In Erie County, congrats to Coach Cofell and the Hornets, district champs for the first time since 2004. All right, so let's look at some Week 11 games we'll have our eyes on next week. Central on the road at Friendship. Central wins. They could possibly host the playoff game. Lakeview at home against Lubbock Estacado in their regular season finale. Sterling City, El Dorado. The winner gets the 3 seed. The loser gets the 4 seed in that district. And Erie County wraps up its season at very best. All right, so if you missed anything, head over to our website, ConchoValleyHomepage.com. For Sabrina Hoover, I'm Ryan Campo. Have a good night.
Friday Night Football on KLST, brought to you by Randall Motors.